Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Canopy Cafe on Thursday, May 7th. we have Kyle Robinson, or perhaps Bigfoot. We're not quite sure who's tuning in here from Print My Threads. Kyle, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing great, man.
Good. So this is our Canopy Cafe live on Thursday, May 7th, and we're streaming to Facebook and YouTube. So tell the world who you are. Kyle Robinson, Print My Threads, not Pimp My Threads, right?
Oh man, yeah. So my name's Kyle Robinson. I own a screen printing company. We're located in Flatwoods, Kentucky, just outside of Ashland.
Yeah.
And, we specialize in custom printed apparel, and we work with small businesses, nonprofits, schools, organizations. So I have a little bit of that ape hair on myself. So custom printed apparel. One of our mantras is make things better by making better things, and we just kind of focus on helping different nonprofit organizations to, tell their story. We kind of treat t-shirts as like a walking billboard, and we like to see how we can use them to, help people, grow their cause and, raise money and awareness for the organization.
Yeah. Very cool. You have said, and we have some comments from never underestimate the power of a t-shirt. And you're so right. Whenever I wear a t-shirt that that has like a cool band name or saying on it or something, people love it. It makes an impact. People recognize and are aware of what you're wearing, and something as seemingly simple as a t-shirt can go a long way. So that's really cool.
Yeah. You have a personal connection with it, right? I mean, if you think about all of the t-shirts in your drawers and those ones that you've had for years, and the ones that you kind of keep, and whether you wear them, it's like, I don't know if you've ever gone to like clean out your sock drawer, or and it's like there's certain t-shirts you don't want to get rid of, right? Because they hold some sort of sentimental value.
Absolutely.
It's a cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, we've been hosting these Canopy Cafes for a few weeks now, and we are doing so because we missed having people coming by the office and the spirited conversations that we would have with good business owners and people from throughout Kentucky that would love to share ideas with us and talk about what they do and how they're showing up for community and running a successful business at the same time. And so, appreciate you joining us today. And, in the virtual world, because of the world that we live in, and everything that is posed by the global crisis and COVID-19. So tell us, how are you? How are you adapting to these unprecedented times?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little tough. I mean, honestly, we when the news first started hitting, we, in a matter of days, I'd say, probably lost like our production schedule went from super full to basically non-existent. So where we work with schools and events and concerts and all of that went away, and so all of our business dried up very quickly. So we kind of saw the writing on the wall. I took some kind of quick action. We ended up having to furlough all of our employees, which it was weird, right? I didn't quite know if that was like a rash decision or if it was an overreaction. It turned out that it worked in our favor in the sense that we kind of stayed ahead of the curve, and my team was able to file for unemployment and get that early. So it ended up being a good thing. But so I had about a week where I think I was sort of feeling sorry for myself and sitting around and reading the news and feeling depressed, and then I started kind of getting over that and started looking at what kind of pivots and changes do we need to make, and what do we need to do to get things back on track.
Yeah, really difficult decisions that have to be made early and often. All of us at Canopy made similar decisions, and you're well aware, as a board member for Canopy, understanding what we did, right at the onset of all this, and working with staff and our salaries to make sure that we could just get super lean and just kind of get through this and figure it out as we went. So very difficult decisions to make, important decisions at the same time. And one of the things that we love to talk about during these cafes is how you and your business is showing up for the community, the environment, your team. And you have a really cool program going on called Local Lifesaver. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you've heard everybody keeps talking about like the uncharted waters and the there's a lot of these kind of like ocean analogies and whatnot. And so one of the cool things that we saw. Hold on, just one second here.
Sure.
I got my kids are making cereal in the kitchen.
Hey, the interruptions are like, it's just every day now. People, it's just the way of life.
Right. Yeah. So basically what we did is we saw, we started looking at, what could we do in this time? Again, I needed a project personally to kind of get me out of my funk. What really kind of drives and motivates me is, helping other people. Usually we're helping nonprofit organizations. And in this project is specifically focused on helping small local businesses.
Yeah.
I started reaching out to a lot of our customers and our clients that own business, and started having a lot of conversations. And kind of the common theme or the common thread that we saw was that, local businesses are struggling, right? They're hurting, their cash flow's dried up, and everybody's kind of trying to figure out, what do we do? The other thing that I saw a lot of was that basically people have been laid off, they've been furloughed, they wanted to do something to help, but they felt kind of helpless in the sense that they're having to stay at home. So we kind of started to look at, what is something that we can do where people can, give back and help these small businesses. And we saw a project and a movement kind of start to happen in our industry that was called the Here for Good campaign. And the concept was simple. It's basically, you have a $20 t-shirt and $10 of that goes to a small local business to help them, stay afloat and get through these times. Mm-hmm. So we kind of, sat back and watched, some of the successes that these other ones were having and came up with a project that we're calling Local Lifesaver. Very simple concept. It's a $20 t-shirt. You get to choose the local business that you want to support when you're checking out. $10 from every t-shirt goes directly to that business. And so it's just, again, it's, we were talking about, don't underestimate the power of a t-shirt, using t-shirts for a force of good. It's just a very simple, tangible way that people can help support these businesses. And, personally, like I was a little hesitant to even do it at first because I was thinking, okay, well, $10 a shirt, like how much money are you going to actually be able to raise? And, how is this going to have an impact? But one of the things that we started to see is that, again, it goes beyond the $10, right? It's a way to show that support. It's a way to physically wear that support like on a shirt. And one of the things that I keep talking about is like, how cool is this going to be when we get back to normal or the new normal, and you're out in your local community walking around and you see other people wearing these t-shirts,
right?
You're going to have like that instant connection with that person, and you're going to know that they stepped up and they did something in that time to make sure that that local business, maybe it's where they get their haircut, maybe it's, their gym, maybe it's where they go to get coffee with their friends, right? Like they stepped up and they did something to make sure that business is still going to be here when all this is said and done.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that it's, using your core competencies, what you do as an organization, and leveraging it for good. So it's, it's helping you. It's a new endeavor for you and your business. And it's also, like you said, it's showing up for other local companies and people that need extra support, need to know and see people that are wearing the t-shirts to say like, hey, I'm supporting this and I love this business. It's a really cool thing. So, I applaud your efforts with that. I think I don't want to get in trouble, and I'll say that we should talk with the team. Canopy might need some t-shirts here in the near future. We might want to be part of this. We're running low on the Mind Your Weight t-shirts, our podcast t-shirts for sure. So we might need to get some new ones.
And one of the things, that right now, so we're kind of in the infancy of this. Right now we have 47 businesses online, and we've raised just under $4,000. But some of these programs and projects started a little bit earlier ahead of us. To date now, they've raised like, there's some that have raised 50,000. I saw one the other day in Tennessee that's up to $120,000 raised for local businesses.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean the potential is there. Really, so kind of our role in it is that we've set up the platform. We're going to handle the production and the fulfillment and help get these shirts to the people. We've set up we're processing all of the money, because a lot of these businesses aren't set up to do that. But so the next phase of this really is engaging the businesses and getting them set up on a way to, like, how are they going to tell their story? How are they going to reach their audience? And really setting them up with the marketing tools that they need to reach out and get that help. And so really, like, we need more businesses to sign up, and it's been a little bit tricky, because I think in a lot of ways, small business owners, they're the ones who are constantly stepping up to help out in the local community. They're the ones who are sponsoring the local sports teams. They're that are donating at the fundraisers. They're the ones that are sponsoring the local beer festivals and events and things, right? So this has kind of flipped the script, and now these local businesses are in a position where they need help. And I think a lot of local businesses, they don't want to ask for help, right? Like, it's weird. And there's a stigma. So that's one of the things that we're really trying to do, is kind of see how we can help businesses kind of get past that stigma, and and understand that, like, the situation that you're in is at no fault of your own, and your customers and your support and the people that do business with you, like, they want to help, right? It gives them an easy way to do that. So that's kind of one of the main messages that we're trying to get out of this.
I love it. I think you're spot on. We had a question come in from one of the team members at Canopy. Where do you draw inspiration for your designs?
As well as, so like this one, we went with the whole kind of nautical theme, right? Like, it's a lifesaver, right? Like, helping them stay. I looked at doing like a lighthouse and some different things, but so it's kind of interesting. Like, that's kind of another thing to come out of all of this, right? Is like, normally I have several graphic designers on staff that would help me with this, and they fall in further. So, when I started the business, 11 years ago, I did everything, right? So, like, I did the design work, and I, literally, like, every step of the process. And so we're kind of back to that. And so the past few weeks I've been working, harder than ever, because I'm having to do everything. So yeah, the design was interesting. My wife, gave me a lot of feedback and shot down a lot of my initial ideas, and then we that actually what we landed on was not her favorite, but we threw it out in a group text to her family, and tried to get some feedback from some different people. So.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's how the iterative process works. You gotta throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks sometimes.
Yeah. And I should add that, so like, the way it works is, like, all of the shirts will have the main design, and then right below that, it's going to feature the local town that the business is in.
Cool.
That's a cool way too. And so, you can get on there as well. I mean, if so, like, if a business in Ashland, and maybe one in Louisville, like, you can support different businesses. So when you add to cart, it'll prompt you, and it comes up and it lists all of the businesses in the program by town.
That is really cool. This is a really amazing program, Kyle. So how long has it been off the ground?
So I want to say we launched last, it's either a week or 2 weeks. So it's still kind of in its infancy. That's what I'm saying. I mean, right now we're really working to build momentum, get the word out through different news channels, and really encouraging businesses to sign on. I mean, some of these ones that we've seen around the country end up with 300 to 400 different businesses and enrolled. Wow. It's there's no cost, there's no risk. Again, this is good for us. This is going to help me bring my staff back on. But that's really like the driving force behind this. I mean, the amount of time and energy and effort that we're doing to sell. We've sold 350 T-shirts. I mean, they're on a regular basis, we would like print 1,000 shirts for an organization that would just say, hey, we need 1,000 shirts. So, we're not really doing this as a way to, make a bunch of money. We're really just kind of trying to do what we can to step up and help people, because again, we've had conversations, and as a business owner myself, who's had to lay my staff off, right? Like, I want to get people back to work. You know, we want to make sure that those places that we love to shop and that we love to eat, and, you know, that some, you know, sponsor my kid's soccer team. Like, we want to make sure that they're still there.
Absolutely. We at Canopy would define that as a example of good business. And so, you know, you've been on the board with Canopy and have been running a good business for a number of years. So tell us how you define good business.
You know, I mean, I think it's interesting. Like, I've had this conversation a lot as far as like what qualifies as a social enterprise or whatever. And you know, like, when I started the business, I wasn't aware of that term, and I don't even know if that, you know, I'm sure you've been, but you know, I think it really just comes back down to like the individual person, person and people that are involved, right? And it really just kind of comes back to like your core values and your you know, kind of like what you believe in and what you live for.
Right.
So like, again, I mentioned earlier, like, I've really learned about myself over the years that what motivates me is helping other people. And so, again, like, I was kind of sitting at home feeling sorry for myself. I spent 2 weeks like actively shutting my business down that I'd spent the last 11 years building. Like, that's really, like, I mean, that's super tough, right? I mean, I was feeling like really depressed. And so, you know, you kind of get yourself in a situation where it's like, so what are you going to do with that, right? I mean, you can either sit around and feel sorry for yourself, or you know, you can take some kind of action. For me, this was a great fit, and in a way kind of selfish in the sense that, like, it was a win-win, right? I was able to, you know, get myself back into gear, you know, work to get my staff, you know, raise some money so we can start bringing my staff back on board, get them back to work, and then, you know, do a lot of good at the same time. So, you know, I mean, I think that, like, I don't know, you know, I think that it just comes from a place of like, I think it comes down to like the individual and what motivates you, right? And so for me, even like when I chose like what I was going to do, what I was going to build a business around, like, I knew it had to be something that I was like, that I loved and that I was really passionate about, because it's something that, you know, has to be out of bed every single day.
Right.
I don't know if I answered that question.
You did. No, there's no perfectly right answer, and there's no wrong answer. That's well said. You know, I think it's up to each of us to figure out, you know, what we're passionate about, what our business is about, and there is, you know, by no means does there have to be the same approach to good business with every person. I think that the value is its unique nature, you know, that it differs by person and by industry and by business, you know. So from where you are in Eastern Kentucky and from what you see and everything going on, what are the opportunities for business owners as we move through and beyond this global crisis?
You know, I think it's going to look different for each person, right? I came across a post the other day that I thought was really interesting, where, you know, you keep hearing people say that, like, you know, we're all in this together and like we're all in the same boat. And the kind of the gist of this post was that we're not in the same boat, right? So like we're in the same ocean, right? And we're all going through the same storm, but each one of us has a boat that looks very different.
Right.
Right. And so like I've had conversations with businesses who are like thriving right now, right? Because they're busier than ever and their revenue's up and they're having to hire people, right? And then you talk with businesses who are like, you know, they may not make it, right? And then there's some who aren't affected as much. And so, you know, I think that it's important for us to look at this situation. You know, you've got people, and then from like that's from the business owner standpoint. And then from as far as like employees, you've got people who like, you know, are basically getting paid, making more money to stay at home, you know, because they're getting the unemployment plus the federal stimulus than they made when they were working. And then you have other people that haven't stopped working because they've been considered essential and they've had to, you know, and they've been on the front lines of this thing.
Right.
So, you know, as far as like what opportunity looks like, I think that that's going to be, you know, dependent. It's going to be very, it's going to be across the board, and people are going to have to kind of figure out what that means for them. But I really like that analogy, and I think it's really important for us to remember that, you know, what our experience is right now going through this is not necessarily the experience that other people are having. So I think that we need to be sensitive to that and aware of that, and see how we can reach out and help other people, and be supportive, and see what we can do to make sure that we your boat might have a leak, right? Like I might be in a yacht, right? And there might be someone on a canoe, or like a little, kayak or something. Like we need to figure out, where those resources are. And I think, there's a lot of good that can come out of this situation as far as everyone talks about getting back to normal and the new normal. And I really hope that people will take the time to pause and really think through, what their priorities are. Because it's a huge opportunity to hit a reset button, right? And really think through whether that be for your business or whether that be on a personal level, to really look at what are my priorities and what's important to me, and what kind of changes can I make to really get things back on track. Because as a society, it's go, 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 right? And so a lot of times we don't have the ability to slow down and take the time to think through that. And so, I've been trying to, like I said, I've been working harder than ever, but at the same time, I'm really kind of trying to, take a hard look at things and really make sure that what do we need to do on both a personal level and and for the business, to make sure that our vision and our mission is really aligned with our personal values. So I hope that, people will use this time, and I hope that as businesses start opening back up, that we don't just rush back. I hope that we're not so ready to get a haircut and go out to eat that we just it's just full bore, and then we just kind of undo all of the good that could have been done. So that's I think it'll be interesting to see, and I think people will respond in different ways.
I think you're right. We're seeing people show up in a multitude of ways, and I think that's really well said, Kyle. So we're almost at our time here. And so the last thing I'll ask you, where can people go to find out more about Print My Threads and about Local Lifesaver?
Yeah, so probably, social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram. It's, our main website is printmythreads.com. And there's an easy way to reach out to us there. The locallifesaver.com is the website for the new project. There's a link on there that makes it really easy for businesses to sign up. And then, if you're there to support a business, you just basically click on the button that says buy the shirt. You look for the local town you want to support. And then if your business is listed, it'll prompt you to choose what business you want when you're checking out. Cool. If the business you're looking for, if your favorite business isn't listed, then, reach out to them, let them know about the program, tell them to get involved. That's what this is for, right? Is it's think about, what is that business that you're really missing? Is it where you love to go, eat? Is it is it the gym that you typically work out at? Right. So if they're not on there, reach out to them and let them know, get them to join, and then buy a shirt for them, and, help them stay afloat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning in the Canopy Cafe, Kyle. We're all wishing you well from my home in Louisville to yours over there in Eastern Kentucky. And I'm sure we'll talk soon.
All right. Great talking with you, Ben.
Okay. Take care, Kyle.
All right. See you.
All right. We are wrapping up today's Canopy Cafe. So thanks for all of you for tuning in. As you heard from Kyle, check out locallifesaver.com to support small businesses and to alert some of the businesses that you love if they're not participating. A cool way to show that you care and to help them out during these tough times. If you're interested and like what you see here today and love what Canopy is doing to promote good business throughout Kentucky, you can take action. You can go to our website, canopyky.org, and sign the Charter for Good Business. It is a great way to just say to us and say to the world that you believe that businesses should be good, that businesses should show up for people and the environment and supplement the amazing work being done at nonprofit organizations and with our governmental support. So sign your name to the charter. It means a lot to us. And also, you can support Canopy and make a donation if you so choose. And you can check us out, canopyky.org/donate, or text to give at 502-237-6900. And as a small business ourselves and a startup nonprofit, we would appreciate any and all support. Next Tuesday is Kentucky Gives Day, and Canopy is participating. So stay tuned on our social media for more. And thank you all for tuning in this morning. Take care.